Namaste friends. Based on the request that we have been getting for analyzing charts, I have taken up a particular case study today. Now, this is a female chart, and the lady is going through issues in marital life. Although the chart looks quite good, but there are disputes, especially related to marital life. So, we will see as to why these things are cropping up. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, and we will do it as a step by step analysis. Now, whenever we talk about marriage, the seventh house becomes important, and in KP, we see the results based on the sublord, which is also referred to as the cuspal sublord. So, in this case, seventh cuspal sublord, which is Sun, is responsible for everything connected to partnerships and marriage. So, let's analyze what Sun is capable of giving. Is it promising marriage? If yes, how will the marital life be? So we'll do it in multiple steps so you understand it better. So as I mentioned earlier, Sun is the planet that we need to analyze. So we see that Sun is in the 11th house, and in KP the rules are very clear. A planet will always give the results of its star lord. So we know that Sun will give the results of Venus. So first thing is we will check for the promise, and we can straight away see here that Sun is in the 11th house plus Venus is also in the 11th house. As a star lord, it's in the 11th house. Moreover, we get the final confirmation from the sublord. Sublord here is Mercury, which is also giving us 11. You can go one step further, meaning you take the sublord's star lord. So in this case, it's Mercury. Mercury's star lord is Venus again. So you can see that 11 is there in every single planet, which means there are so many planets here in the 11th house. So marriage is confirmed, or marriage is promised. So this is step number one. So for any event in KP, the first thing that you will always do is check for the promise. Only if there is a promise, you will go to the next step. Since we know the marriage is promised, let's see why are there disputes coming up on the marriage front. The first step is we have to see with Sun who else is conjunct. Now conjunction is always seen as planets in the same Rashi or same sign. So here we get to see that there is Venus, we also have Jupiter, we have Saturn, and we have Mercury. We will have to exclude Mars, which is also in the 11th house because it's in Taurus. So the planets that are conjunct with Sun are Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. Now, please keep in mind that in KP we normally don't consider conjunction beyond 8 degrees as an orbit. So if I take Sun is at 25.08 degrees. Automatically Venus gets excluded because it's more than 8 degrees as a range. Okay, but the remaining planets, you can see they're very closely conjunct. This is 25, so you can see 24, 26, 25 approximate numbers I'm giving you. So for the sake of saving some time, I've already taken the details of all the 4 planets which are conjunct. So you can see all of them are in 11th house. But we shouldn't forget that for marriage, we not only consider 7th house, we also consider the 2nd house, and we take the 11th house. Now we know that we already have 11th house, not from one planet but multiple planets. So where is the problem? If you notice here, I have negation coming up from Mercury, and I also see that there is 8th house being indicated by Saturn. 8th house generally indicates stress or problems. Irrespective of what is the event, it always represents some kind of an issue. Now, apart from these three houses, we can also consider fifth house as an important house for marriage. Why fifth house? Fifth house indicates love and care. So, if you consider 5 as important, there is 4. 4 meaning it negates the fifth house, which means there is lack of love and care in the marriage. Okay, so I have certain houses here which are representing problems. That is the first house, the fourth house, the eighth house, and the 10th house. Now, this alone is not creating all the issues. There is something which is a little more interesting in this chart. If you notice moon is in the first house, and you can also see that Rahu is in the first house. Now if you look at the degrees of moon, it's approximately 93 degrees and Rahu is 94 degrees. So this is a very close conjunction. Moon represents emotions. Moon represents even fickle mindedness, and any planet that gets connected with Rahu is unlimited expansion. So basically, the natives' emotions are, uncontrolled. Basically, okay, and Rahu also is a planet which creates suspicion. So, and they are in the first house. So, first house is the native himself or herself. So, basically, when Rahu is in the first house, the native will have a tendency to suspect everybody else. So, we can see that when you take all these things into consideration, the marriage can be a little difficult because the person will be self-centered. So this clearly indicates the native is self-centered. Okay, just having 11th house given by multiple planets doesn't mean that the marriage is going to be pretty good. There is no perfect marriage, but keep in mind that 11 alone, anything getting connected with 11 is good, but this alone doesn't guarantee that the event will be fruitful in every sense. So from the chart we now see that not only there are houses which negate certain houses here, the main houses here, but also the native is a bit self-centered. So this can create a lot of obstacles in any relationship. See, marriage is a two-way process. There is a give and take. So as far as I'm concerned, the native needs to have this policy of give and take. That is the only remedy that we can suggest. So I hope you have understood the concept, and thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.